on to our next speaker, Anthony Chambers. Through a plethora of life experiences, Anthony has become a thought leader and life coach whose expertise is best manifested when awakening the awareness of others to their innate power and to their innate value, and personal power. Anthony, turning it over to you, sir.
Thank you, Karen. Hello, WaWa. I got to tell you, for me, WaWa is the Shangri-La of refueling the body and your car. And we thank you for being in Florida for sure, right here in Port St. Lucie. Actually, there's a new one right up the way from my place here on St. Lucie West. I'm here to speak with you today about interrupting fear. Now, this fear thing is something that, without us knowing, we've created. There are only two real fears that we were born with, and that's the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. But we have these fears that come in our lives that create defining moments for us. A defining moment for me many years ago. I spent the night playing with my 2.5-month-old son, and I put him to sleep. I went to sleep. I awoke the next day, and he didn't. As a result of that, I lost my wife to drug addiction. I went to work and I learned to go within. And that's the conversation I want to have with you today. About regardless of what's going on outside or around us, we have to learn to go within. Neil Donald Walsh said, if you don't go within, you'll go without. And I'm sure he meant that in a number of ways, because if we don't go within, we will go without. From all the effluvia that comes in from the masses, from all the external distractions, just like what we're having right now. This may be a defining moment for you with this COVID crisis. But what I want to share with you is that within you, you have been given gifts. You have been given an innate value and an innate power. You're as unique as every snowflake that falls from the sky. In fact, you are 1 in 5 million options in the womb, and you got the job. So there's a power that comes with that, the power of choice. I like to say we have 3 superpowers: our ability to think, our ability to feel, and our ability to choose what we think and how we want to feel. You see, things are going to go on around us, things are going to happen to us, but what is important is what we allow to happen inside of us. What I want you to understand is an egg broken from the outside is instant death. An egg cracked from the inside is instant life. This life that we're living is really an inside job. Rather than living from the outside in, I'm in the business of helping people live from the inside out. You see, we see the world not as we see it, not as it is. We see the world as the way we see ourselves. And the question is, what is the conversation? What is the internal dialogue that's taking place between our own 2 ears with us? You see, we are at the top of the food chain, and we can protect ourselves most anywhere on the planet. But where we struggle is our ability to protect ourselves in the space between our own 2 ears. Because we have not learned to use this neck-top computer. In fact, we've identified ourselves with our brain and our body, but we're really the ghost in the machine. Let me just give you a question. You guys have access to your reaction button. I want to just to kind of throw something at you. You see, we have an habitual pattern of thinking. We've been taught what to think our whole lives, and rarely have we been taught how to think. You see, thinking is a power, and if you know how to use your power, you're really working. So I want you to say something in your mind for me. If you say, I want you to finish this question. I can be happy or, and you finish in your mind, I can have money or. Now, I need a show of hands. How many said I could be happy or sad? Just give me a show of hands in the reactions. Okay. How many of you could have said money or being broke? Here's the idea. If you said I could be happy or sad, or I could have money or being broke, there's a habitual pattern that's taking place here. It's kind of letting you know how you are thinking, because you could really be happy or more happy. You could have money or even more money. It's a paradigm shift in your thinking. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying that there is a power within you, and that is that ability to choose. You see, we can choose happiness. We can choose joy. You see, our emotions are just letting us know what we are thinking, because you can't have a thought you can't have a feeling without a preceding thought. So what I'm suggesting to you today is choose wisely. When you are feeling some kind of way because of some external circumstance that has taken place in your life, I want you to take a step back. Instead of ruminating over that idea or ruminating over what has taken place, take a step back and say, well, how do I want it to be? Interrupt that pattern of thought and say, how do I want it to be? And then once you decide what you want, ask yourself the question, why do I want it that way? You see, the idea of making that decision of what you want interrupts your thinking or your thought process about the fear and the anxiety. When you ask the question why, it gives you the feeling of it already being so. You know, it's like, I want a convertible. Okay, well, why do you want the convertible? Because when I want to ride with the top down. I want to bump to the music. I want the wind to hit my curls. You see, I'm getting the feeling of it already being so. I'm embracing the moment. In fact, I'm creating a future. So what I'm suggesting to you is that you have a power within you. Now, when situations come, if you have an opportunity, you can reframe the circumstances. This is kind of drastic, but if you're in something that's bugging you and it's gotten momentum and you can't shake it out of your mind, I want you just to imagine someone that you love really dearly. And then I want you to think about the challenge that you're focusing on. Now, think if you don't find a solution to it, you'll never see that loved one again. How would you have to think? What would you have to believe? What would you have to do to make sure that your potential is bigger than that problem? Then you'll find the solution. You will have the spark of hope. You will have the power to go forward and move and make the life that you want. We want you to make a decision daily, not just today, but every day. A decision that you will live a life that will outlive you. You have the power to do just that. We all have a past, and it's entirely up to us as to how we use our past. Some of us will repeat it. Others will learn and grow from it. I've chosen to use my past to help others, to be someone's hero. If you like, I can be yours, and I can be reached at info@anthonychambers.org. Back to you, Karen. Thank you.